to not heal. If you are doing what Tomi Lahren is doing, and you're going on these rants, right? You just have not been able to take the time to heal and become a better person. And what happens in the process is that you deflect so much that one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be miserable, you're going to be alone, and you're going to have been alone for quite some time. You know, Lil Wayne's new girlfriend, right? Lil Wayne's new girlfriend was single for 10 years. Now, if y'all know who his girlfriend is, you're probably going to say, well, it's because she's a bit of a big girl, okay? She's a BBW or whatever, right? But I also think that she may have been single for all that time because, one, she's a single mother probably. That may play a part into it. And two, she probably has very ridiculous standards for herself. And I believe she lowered those standards. Not to say lowered it just to be with Wayne, but that she's with a guy who was just in a relationship with a female who does the same thing she does. They might even be cool with each other, or may have been cool with each other. And that was okay, because that's how badly she wanted to be with Lil Wayne. Now she's taking photos with the guy and just being all, inseparable with them, And there are women who will go through a long time being single because they have certain things that they're looking for, and they have certain guys that ain't looking for them. They're looking for certain guys. Those guys aren't necessarily looking for them, and that's what we are. We're looking for what we cannot obtain. Now, we can obtain those. There are ways. I think for us as men, because there are more women out here, we can get what we seek, right? But we don't get butthurt to the degree that, like the Tomi Lahrens will get, if they don't get what they're looking for. Because, see, we know about getting curved. We know about getting rejected. But it's difficult when you're used to getting what you want and the type of guys you want to deal with rejection, to deal with guys who, they don't even want to meet you. They're just pen paling you, as she said in her video. They're not even trying to go and meet her. Go and see her. They're getting her number and not even calling back. That's a guy with low interest. Okay? That's a guy with extremely low interest that ain't interested in you like that. You're more interested in him than he is in you. And I think a lot of women find themselves in that situation, because they're looking for somebody that ain't looking for them. And then it becomes everybody, it's everybody's issue now that these guys don't want you like that. Like, when did it become our problem? that the guys that you want ain't checking for you like that, I know we have standards, man, but a lot of women, if y'all don't want to be single and miserable, because there are men who will make that happen because they won't deal with you like that. You need to understand where you are in the world and what you want, because if you don't, then again, it's going to be very difficult for you to find what you're looking for. You cannot shame men and force men into liking you, especially the ones that you want. We all know that a lot of women want a small amount of men, which makes it even worse. So I don't want to hear no complaining. If you are actively out here trying to deal with men who who don't have a high interest in you, you're wasting your time trying to get a guy that has no high interest in you. You settle for being a side chick or a jump off because that's pretty much all you're going to be able to get from that guy. You're not really going to get anything else from him. But then you have those that will get on social media and they will make it about us as men having to do better. Us having to change, us having to do better. We need to fix ourselves and be real men. What's good, Queen Meek? I see you looking in the chat again. Then we got the Tomi Lahrens of the world that are gonna tell us how to be real men. Speak to your friends. Speak to your friends. Ask your friends why they're having such a difficult time. Ask your friends why it's difficult for them to find a real man. Ask them. Ask them why they're having such a tough time. Instead of coming to us, why don't you go to them and try to figure out what's going on? You may have better luck there. You're not going to have very good luck chastising and pointing your finger at men and saying, you know what, it is on you to fix this. You need to do better. You need to be a real man. Like, what? Have you talked to your friends and actually asked them why they can't seem to get in relationships? All they're telling you is that they are educated, they're successful, they have good jobs and degrees. Is that all they're telling you? Because something isn't adding up. It can't always be our fault. Yeah, there are a lot of males out here who are weak, who are effeminate, who are bitch made. We all know this. There's a lot of weak, cowardly, submissive males out there that make us all as men look bad. You got a lot of simp males who roll out the red carpet for any woman they come across because they want validation for that woman. We know this. We know that listen, why would I sit up here and defend one of my friends if he out here simping his ass off for a woman that doesn't want him? Why would I even waste my time trying to defend and say women should still want to be with him? No, the guy's a loser. He needs to shape up. I'm not going to defend him. He needs to work on himself first before he comes to me talking about how he has everything going on. But bro, you're a pushover. You allow women to disrespect you. You allow women to clown you. You allow women to use you. And then you still want to act like you don't know what's happening. You want to defend the actions of every woman. You know, you're one of those believe all women. You're one of those male feminist minded types. Of course, I'm not going to give you advice you want to hear. I'm going to tell you to shape up or don't ask me for advice. Because you are where you are because of the way that you carry yourself. It's simple as that. Obviously, some of your friends, Tommy, they are making it worse for themselves, but they're telling you a different story. Of course, they're going to tell you that they did nothing wrong and that it was always the man's fault. It's always the man's fault. We've got it down to a science to where it is always up to us to be able to take the blame, the brunt of the criticism when it comes to these relationships failing. We always take the criticism. We're so used to it. That's why you have men who say, screw it. I don't want to date anymore. I don't want to be in a relationship. I may casually date or I may have women in a rotation or whatever. But other than that, I'm not going to seriously consider dating at all. I don't want it. I want to deal with women as less as possible. And men are making those decisions every single day because they see no value in trying to date any modern day female. These are facts. Some of you may not like it, but that's just how it is. If you want to know from my perspective as a male as to why you're just not getting chose, it is because a lot of guys just don't see the value in trying to date you. They don't. They don't see the value in trying to be in a relationship with you. They would rather deal with you less and less and only deal with you when they want to smash something. But when it comes to a relationship, they're not interested. And a lot of women just are not giving these guys anything to work with. And I'm talking about the ones who have their shit, everything together. I'm talking about the guys who are not weak-minded, guys who, again, have everything, have themselves together. A lot of guys just are not, they don't want to waste their time and their mental sanity to deal with women who clearly are not taking accountability for where they are. You know? But we can still point the finger. We can still blame men. We can still say, you know what? We need to believe women when they say these men ain't doing it right. You know, we can't look in the mirror and say that we're messing up, because that goes against girl code. You know, we have to keep the attention on men, because they're the ones that are doing it wrong. They're the ones that are messing up. They're the ones that need to be fixed. There's a lot of, we need to fix men going on. Everybody wants to fix men. Everybody has an issue with how men are. Toxic masculinity. What about the toxic femininity? What about the fact you have women out here who absolutely refuse to make the necessary changes in order to find a suitable mate? They want to blame their exes for why they are where they're at. Their exes could do the same thing, but those men will be shamed. They'll say, why are you talking about your ex like that? That's a female. You need to be a man, take accountability. You're not going to see nothing nowhere where, you have men, for the most part, who are going to get, I won't say back up, but they're going to get praise for standing up for themselves and saying, listen, I did all I can do. She needs to work on what she needs to work on. You're not going to see that. I saw a clip of this court show, right? I think it was Paternity court. And there was this guy, right? He was in there. That was a woman that claimed he was the father of her 2-month-old, right? And when the results came back that he wasn't the father, the judge still wanted to chastise him. And she had to chastise the woman, but she still felt the need to chastise him and say he was playing games with her. Oh, really? There's no worse game in the world than a woman that I'm believing, engaged in a relationship with, that's dealing with other men, but wanting to say you're the dad. And what makes it even more weirder is that the woman didn't even have a birth certificate signed, because she already knew this guy wasn't a father. But the other guy that she was dealing with is probably somebody she's either embarrassed about or probably somebody who's married to one of her friends, maybe one of her siblings, or in a relationship with somebody she knows. Maybe it's her boss, and she doesn't want anybody to find out. So she wants to pin that young one on this guy who clearly believes he's not the father. But they're going to find a way to chastise the guy because he made her do it. And that's where we're at. That's where we at. He made her do it with his games, okay? And that's where we are.